Hello dear friends, we discuss editorial and we find out theoretical dimensions given in this and we link whatever key issues are being discussed with those theories. Now in this editorial he is discussing about the Thomas Schelling's idea of strategic realism which we are supposed to analyze. Now the key essence of exploring theories is this because theories provide us analytical tools to identify and analyze the given issues. So it is essential. We being student of political science, we should have command over theories. And theories are academic explanation which give proper sense to us of all those development. That is why we need to have command over theories. Now these are the key assumptions of Thomas Schelling's, what he says, and we are going to apply what have been discussed by Sashi Tharoor in that editorial. Now, he talks about strategic realism and he focuses on the foreign policy aspect, that how the key actors, the key political actors take decision in foreign policy domain. So he talks about that foreign policy is some kind of instrument through which the state leaders can achieve their strategic interest, and he take help of game theories for this analysis. Now he was also being influenced by the behavior revolutions, in which he wanted to base his arguments on the empirical studies. Now what he's identified there, that there are certain rational choice mechanism, so whatever he's proposing, those are the mechanism based on a rational choice theory. So these, like if followed by the principal actor, could generate collaborations and avoid disaster in conflict ridden world. So this is his key objective, that even if the parties, they are about to have some kind of conflict and they are about to collide, they are about to get into war, but in those circumstances they can explore the collaboration. That is the strategic move, that is how they can achieve their goals. Now he is saying that brute force succeed when it is used, whereas the power to hurt is more successful when held in reserve. So he is saying that brute force, so if you are applying it, you may win, and if you do not win by applying brute force, so it can backfire. This is the key essence of Sashi Tharoor in that editorial. When brute force fails, it has its own repercussions. Now he is uh, uh, saying that there is some kind of distinction between brute force and coercion. In the first, like we are taking what we want. If we are applying brute force, we take what we want. But when we are applying coercion, we make others to give us what we want. But now, while we are applying the game theory in this context, what is the essence of this editorial is this, that coercion fails when both the party, they are not able to see the risk involved, when they fail to assess that risk. These are the part of his assumptions. Now what he is saying, to make use of coercive apparatus effective, we need to know what an adversary treasures and what scares him. So this is the strategic leverage, what the adversary is being fearful about. We should know, we should have the control over this thing, and this is the bargaining chip. This is the what we can, having some kind of hostage we can use for our strategic benefit. So we also need to communicate clearly to him, to the adversary. We should clearly communicate that this is what we are having and this is how we can utilize this, is we can create harm to your strategic interest, and what will cause violence be inflicted and what will cause it to be withheld. So there should be no misunderstanding when you are communicating. There should not be misunderstanding. That is the key idea. It should be clearly conveyed to the uh, strategic conflict actor. Now actors involved should be acutely aware of the dangers and opportunities. So they must have the clear assessment that what can cause them if they are not having this collaboration in, not in the liberal sense. It is about reaching some kind of agreement so that they can save their face. They should not get into such kind of conflict which is going to harm both the parties, because it is the essence of game theory. You must understand this thing. You are winning by not losing. Now in this editorial, it has been discussed that in USA Iran conflict, what are the approaches being adopted by these parties. So what is the essence of the US approach? That they are focusing on brute force and coercion, which is backfiring, because it is the sheer will of Iran uh, which led it to sustain that particular coercion. So this is good for them, and they got the strategic leverage, that is state of home rules. We are going to discuss it shortly. So in such an environment, the weaker party has every incentive to make the exit as costly as visible possible, ensuring the stronger adversary pay a reputational and strategic price for its miscalculation. So here, even if they are using brute force, and Iran is sustaining that brute force, so it is giving that clear message to them that your brute force is not going to help you. You have to come to the bargaining table, and here the bargaining chip is state of Hormuz. Now, in the Schelling logic, as per his strategic realism, now Iran is having that advantage. It is using state of Hormuz as a hostage. It is proposing it. Now the key is this: both the parties, they must assess risk properly. The miscalculation is going to create further escalation, which can make both the parties to pay heavy price. This is what is the essence of strategic realism, the through the game theory. Now, strategically weaker, Iran is strategically weaker than US in conventional terms. It nonetheless possesses asymmetric leverage, that is the hostage, that is the state of Hormuz. By causing disruption in global energy flows, Iran can manipulate the shared risk. Now you understand this thing, that is the key word, shared risk, because we must understand that what is the shared risk, and then we can discuss and we can manage that shared risk. That is the essence of strategic realism, that binds both sides, forcing USA to reckon with the cost of escalation, not to just in military terms but in economic and diplomatic fallout. So USA must understand that what it going to lose. This is the essence of this particular argument, the last one, that both parties must acutely aware of the dangers, the cost and opportunities, the benefit they are going to occur if they collaborate on that particular issue. The more the US insists on the punishment without offering respectful exit, the more valuable the hostage becomes. This is how they are using the state of Hormuz. Now Iran taxes, what exactly it is doing: calibrated disruption, visible defiance, and threatened exploitation of choke points, and that is benefiting Iran. That is, it is giving strategic advantage to the Iran. Now, it is the key arguments of Schelling that force rarely secure compliance. What matters is structure of risk, that how you see the risk, the shared risk, the perception of danger, and the capability of exit strategies. This is the key issues. Now, what needs to be done? What is the main suggestions we should take from this editorial? That mere coercion fails. Shared risk is the true currency. We must understand the shared risk, and it should be clearly communicated. There should not be any kind of miscommunication. Both Iran and USA must recognize the manipulation of risk is the essence of contest. They must sit together and they must, recognize the shared risk. That is the key essence. And if they do not do this, they are going to escalate the situation, and it is going to be the harmful for both the parties. Severe bombing may demonstrate power and resolve, but without a graceful exit, it only increases the value of the other side's capacity to cripple the world economy. That is using the hostage. That is weaponization of state of Hormuz. So this is the key theoretical discussion of this particular editorial, and I suggest you to read the editorial and try to link with the key theoretical assumptions of Thomas Schelling strategic realism. Thank you, dear students.